Good afternoon. I'm Cam.
And I'm Shannon.
This is Wife Squared. This is us.
Oh, you having some issues
I'm still waking up. You can't do that to me.
Oh no. Well, she has to go to work actually soon anyways. But we are going to Hawaii in 2 days. We decided, since we travel a lot and we're getting ready to pick our Airbnb. Unfortunately, it's last minute, but we have our eyes set on a couple different places in Hawaii.
She thinks my OCD is funny because we do Airbnb, so we figured we'd give a little Airbnb tutorial etiquette about what we appreciate as hosts.
Maybe kind of tips and tips.
If you travel Airbnb and you're staying in someone else's house, things to do
from a host perspective.
From a host perspective, to have a fantastic stay and vacation. Because
since we travel enough, we actually host ourselves sometimes, and we've had people from all over the world, which have been amazing. And there's been a few people that unfortunately have not. And we just, and our OCD, that's what I have to deal with. But when sometimes when the people are not,
everybody loves our Airbnb.
Talk about a couple points that you might want to look at or think about whenever you're getting ready to book an Airbnb or if you're hosting. And that's our doorbell. The Ring, amazing doorbell. Communication is really important when it comes to Airbnb. That goes for communicating with the host and the guest, both ways.
Over communication can happen too. You don't need to harass the person.
The best is always communicating through the app. The messages get saved, you can see them, you can always bring them up if you don't have Wi-Fi. You go like, oh, okay, hey, here's the code to the door, here's the address, Wi-Fi password, whatever it needs to be. Yeah, don't be afraid to message. So if you do Instant Book, message the person, or see, with Instant Book,
we've only done it once. We just turned it on and I want to turn it off. It's not for me.
It's because we actually like when guests communicate with us. We will answer our messages really fast. I mean, we're pretty actually right on.
Somebody messages us, they say, hey, this is what's up, this is where we're traveling, and we say, cool, great, let's...
Yeah, because you have to also think, or how many people too. Always tell how many people, don't just assume. So actually when you go on the app, it automatically, I think, puts on the filter where it just has Instant Book. You can go and switch that off and then I'll have even more listings, which is cool. Communicate, talk with people, message them, tell them how many people you have, where you're going maybe, what you're doing, and a lot of times, sometimes hosts can, interact with you better, or they can tell you tips, all kinds of stuff. Like Cam has lived in Arizona for what, 20 something years now?
21.
I've lived in Southern California for a long time, but I also lived in Las Vegas. She's been to Costa Rica a lot. I've been to 44 states. We've seen a lot of different stuff. So when people come here and they're like, hey, do you have any tips about Sedona or the Grand Canyon? We can also tell them, hey, don't forget, there's Fossil Creek. There's, Camp Verde. There's the train from what, Williamsburg? Up to Grand Canyon?
Williams,
up to the Grand Canyon. I mean, there's all kinds of extra stuff that some people might not know, Don't be afraid to talk to your host. And if they're they don't seem very friendly, if you're staying in the house with them and they don't seem very friendly, you might want to...
Well, this isn't for privates. This is for if you stay with somebody and you rent a private room in someone's home.
Yeah, but this is also in general for other stuff too, because we've talked to other hosts who have stayed with us. We talked to other people who have stayed in other Airbnbs as well. And
I've talked to other people who, I got somebody else to do Airbnb. They liked it for a little bit, got a little weird for them. They haven't been doing it. They do it.
Yes. Another point, house rules. Please read them.
Nobody freaking reads them.
No.
I don't think people know they exist. There are house rules. No, I'm sorry. 9 out of 10 guests don't read house rules. We have three. And every time somebody comes and stays here, they break at least 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, but when it
And
comes
they're
to
not that hard.
when it comes to anything, do you always read the house rules? Because then you'll know if you can use the kitchen, if there's going to be other dogs on the premises that might bark.
My favorite one is
all
we
kinds
have
of stuff.
animals. There's a picture of our animals on our Airbnb ad.
Pictures are worth 1,000 words.
But I mean, reading only takes 5 minutes, so it's just a respect thing. Like,
Pictures are worth a lot, so that's why we put pictures of our animals so people also can see, oh, there's a dog, whatever else we have and such. Perspective. When we get guests, first-time guests that have no reviews, when they communicate with us and they tell us, we're going to Grand Canyon, we're doing blah, 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 and they are spot on their communication, and we feel, good about it, we'll give them a chance. And it's always panned out really well. I mean, we have some friends now because of Airbnb, which is awesome.
I get amusement out of one thing. At the end of our house rules, it says, feel free not to make the bed because we wash everything after your departure. Some people are so nice that most people make the bed.
They make the bed better than I can make the bed.
But of course we have to make it. It's appreciated, but it's kind of amusing because it's like, you didn't read my house rules, but it's like, oh, you're so sweet, you made the bed.
Yeah. Another thing is Wi-Fi. When you're communicating, if you really need Wi-Fi, like a strong signal, you might want to also ask them before you book, hey, how's your Wi-Fi and stuff? I mean, that's always a good question and stuff. So don't wait till the end of your trip to address any issues. Message the host, have a line of communication, especially through the app. That's the best way usually to communicate for most people. But other people say phone number, you just need to read the listing.
I've learned you can't win them all. You can't please everybody. We've been fortunate enough to have people in great communication. I mean, we've had some weird stuff happen,
Yeah,
just stuff. I mean, everybody's different, but yeah, I would prefer not to have certain guests here. Luckily, we do a lot of short one-nighters. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments and you want to know anything about Airbnb hosting, please leave a comment. I'm trying to think what is one of my biggest frustrations. My OCD gets in the way and she gets frustrated because I don't like disrespectful people, and common sense does not run rampant. Yeah.
So one thing that people I think sometimes don't do, they don't read the reviews of the guest or the host beforehand, and or they don't maybe research the area, Like I said, don't be afraid to message. Some guests, if you're stuck at an airport late at night and you're looking and no instant books on, you can't find, don't be afraid to message at 11, 12 o'clock. Sometimes some of the hosts, us included, if our next day's, blocked off, or, we actually have it open or whatever, we've actually taken in someone the night before just because it was after midnight and they couldn't technically book with Airbnb that night after midnight. And we understand that, and we're like, no, they only needed a place for so many hours or whatever.
Some people are not this nice on Airbnb. I know there's a lot of rules and regulations because you have to remember it's somebody's home. A lot of people forget that it's not.
Yeah, property,
It's somebody's home. People live there. It's not a hotel. I mean, some people make the room into a hotel room. Our room that we rent is geared to most people that stay in there are. I mean, it's a rental. Yeah, it's like a hotel, but it is not a hotel. It's a private home.
And another thing from a host perspective that actually we do, that other people said that they like because traveling, is we try to provide kind of essentials, like in the bathroom. We actually have extra small thing of toothpaste, some what else do we have in there? Shampoo,
I mean,
conditioner.
Like, what would you forget when you travel? Oh, they took my shampoo at security.
Yeah, some mouthwash. It doesn't cost very much.
Stuff you don't think about, toothpaste. Like, oh, I forgot. People that stuff gets taken. So if you're staying somewhere and that's there, like we've gone to hotels and we're like, oh, I hope they have this. Of course they don't. We're like, oh, when they do, we're like, oh, that's so cool. So we try to provide the things that we think are cool in hotels that we find. So Q-tips. I mean, it's the simplest little thing, and it means the most to people, and I think that's what pleased most of the people that have come through here because they've been like, oh, I don't have to go run out and get that.
Yeah, and sometimes they're only here for one night, like I said, or they're just stuck here for a little bit, or just passing through.
But you will get an Airbnb host who's like, here's a sheet and a towel, there's nothing there, and it's a blank bed, and it's nothing.
And so that's why you read the reviews beforehand.
Yeah. You know you're going to go to a house with a pet. You know you're going to go to a house without a pet. So, because I know Airbnb is becoming more and more popular.
And I think it's awesome. I mean, we met some really cool people and from many different countries, and we love traveling. So we have now tips to go to other countries, which we're going to be doing soon.
Monster is up. Ooh. Staring at the cat. So we are getting ready to go to Kona. We will have our usual travel vlogs up in the next week for this trip. I don't know how many days it's going to be yet. It depends on how many days I am.
Maybe 3 days, looks like.
So we'll play it by ear as usual. If you have any questions about Airbnb or you want to subscribe, please do so in the corner. Leave a comment, ask a question, like and subscribe as usual. We will see you for Travel Week this week for the Hawaiian Islands. I'm off to work.